Jen, it's been a while since you played school footy together. Funny place to be reunited. Likely first time in the Wallabies jersey. What does it mean to be here and then also be with a former teammate from school?
Yeah, it's honestly just super exciting. Getting that email call up, was never expecting it. So it's been great to be in this environment. Just looking forward to really just training hard, ripping in. Played with Noah back in the day. Hopefully get an opportunity this year. We'll be trying as hard as I can.
Does it feel like you're in a school camp?
It's good. It's good.
Nowhere near, bro.
I'd say this is a little bit harder than school camp, but it's honestly a great environment. Like a lot of the guys, get on well. Everyone's friendly. Everyone's having a team first sort of focus in this short preparation period that we've got. So we're looking forward to the upcoming tests.
And Noah, with a new coach who may not know a lot about you or vice versa, do you feel like you can get a chance to set a new reputation and find your way in this squad under Joe?
Yeah, hopefully. As Blyth mentioned, it's really, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but real grateful to be back in the setup with all the boys. It's good to see all the faces again. I'll just try and do the best job that I can. Training every day, meetings and stuff with the boys, and then and obviously try and get as much feedback as I can from Joe as well, because obviously he's a very experienced coach. You just look at his resume, so I'm just going to be a sponge at the moment, and then learn as much as I can.
Quickly on the school connection, still got it's fascinating seeing people progress the whole way through. No, do you really much of Blyth at school? What he was like?
Yeah, he was a bit of a big dog at school. He didn't really talk to me as much. Nah. We played first 15 2 years, 2015, 16.
Yeah.
I was a skinny fat winger back then, and Blythe was one of the leaders in our first team. It's pretty cool that we get this opportunity to be together again in the same squad. I don't know about Blythe, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, right reply, Blythe. What do you remember now?
Yeah, I think we were all in those sort of teenager years where you're not really sure what your body's doing. So I was quite skinny fat too, and being this tall, I sort of didn't really fit into my body as a young 17-year-old. But it's good. It's good to see the progression come through, and TSS is such a great sort of rugby school. They've got a great rugby program, and they put a lot of effort and work into producing players. It's been great coming through here.
Speaking of your body, mate, you've done a lot of work to get it right after a couple of injury setbacks. Were you surprised to find yourself in Wallaby contention after just a handful of Super Games this year? Yeah,
look, it's been a disrupted year for sure. I think it was a surprise to even be in the sort of first train-on squad. I had no sort of expectations going to that. I just thought I'd put my best foot forward and just sort of leave all that that sort of kind of rough year behind me, and just look forward to getting better. And just engaging with the coaches, learning as much as I can and putting that to use. So, like you said, it was a surprise, but I'm not happy just to be here. I'm here to train as hard as I can, to play, or to make the team better.
It's a big deal getting your first call up. Who were you able to chat to with your family first?
For sure, yeah. I told my partner straight away, so she was over the moon, and told mum and dad after that. Got a great lot of messages, all my mates from TSS as well, and down at the rugby club at Bond, they sort of wished me congratulations, and had a lot of messages and phone calls from family and friends wishing me well, which is great to see.
And now the fact that Joe's put on the record that he's going to select guys who are playing in Australia, does that make you think about your own club future and wanting to stay here and contribute to Australian rugby?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know that, to be honest. It's the first I've heard it, but obviously recently I signed a 1-year deal with Brums and RA, so to be honest, at the moment I'm just focusing on putting all of my energy and focus into this week's camp, and then next week, which is game week. So haven't really thought too far, to be honest. Just really try and do the best I can to put my hand up for the job.
Joe's pretty meticulous from what we understand. What are the sort of features in a short turnaround as someone who runs in a playmaking role? What are the kind of aspects that are worked on through these next 2 weeks?
So we had our first proper session this morning. It's a bit of a tough one, just jamming in a lot of detail. Obviously there's not much time, with the first game against Wales next week, so Not really much at the moment. It's just for everyone, backs and forwards to, try the best we can to get on the same page on how we want to attack and play. Real simple. He's real, he's real hard on doing the real simple things well, and just really staying in every phase. So that's probably the one thing I've learned so far off Joe is just, you can have all the best shape or whatever in the world, but if you don't get the fundamentals right, then you got no platform to play off. So yeah.
One standout about your play that's been talked about is your goal kicking through this year. It's obviously a different environment and tests, but can you shed a bit of light on how you've developed that through the season? Have there been any specifics that you've worked on to try and sharpen that?
No, not really, to be honest. Again, it's just feeling really good off the boot at the moment. Just really trusting my process. What I've been doing, on the training field and the paddock doesn't really change to what I do in the game. So, just really backing my process and trusting it the best I can. And I know some kicks are going to go well, some kicks aren't. That's just the way it goes. So, it's a bit like golf actually. So, just really trusting my process and that. And and if I get the opportunity to play these next coming weeks, I won't be doing anything different.
Blyth, a few other uncapped Reds members as part of that squad, Smithy, Guppy, a few of those boys. It must be good to see that progression as a unit, given the success of this year at domestic level.
Definitely, the connection that we have here in the Wallabies from the Reds boys has been great. I was talking to Slips at lunch before, and he's like, "Oh, who's the big dog around Reds?" And we said, "No one. Everyone's just getting along well, team focus." So. Guppy and Smitty, hard players, they're doing well, and they both had great years this year. So it's great to see, Joe and the selectors picking based off form, in Super Rugby. So, it gives a lot of confidence to guys and to know that they can play there and, play that next level.
Are you guys like a team within a team? Because there's kind of a few of them.
There's a lot, yeah. Not really. No, a lot of the guys who have been around for a few years know, guys from the other teams, obviously know Noah from school, and a lot of the guys like Slips has come from Queensland, so we all know him from there. And but there's no real cliques or Super Rugby cliques in the environment that I've seen so far, which is obviously good. But Joe's been pretty big on getting to know each other and the leaders as well, to sort of mix up who you're sitting with at dinner, who you sit next to on the bus, who you're doing your extras with. So I think we have such a short period of prep, so we really need to focus on knowing each other, inside and out, what we're going to do on the training paddock, what we're going to do on the field in the game.
Zane's a TSS boy as well, from memory. Was he year 8 at Beard when you saw him running around at school?
His first year was my last year. Yeah, so I was 2017. That was my last year. That was his first year, first 15. Still the same size, so.
He's been the same size since under 11, so
yeah, seriously.
That boy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Anything online, guys?
Hey guys, Angus, if we can just touch on your journey in the last couple of weeks, what took you more by surprise, the initial call up into the trainers squad, or when you got the call or the email around you're in the actual squad?
Yeah, definitely. I was more surprised with the actual squad. After a tough year this year, and I that wasn't even really on my radar. I was just sort of thinking of just trying to get my body right for the game, on the weekend. So, I just, was just looking forward to sort of playing rugby in the super season. And then, I guess the selectors and Joe, they liked what they saw, and obviously quite a big lad, so got that sort of size factor. But just, it was quite a surprise. But, you can be surprised and happy for a day, and then you're off to work. So it's, we've got a job to do. So looking forward to it.
Who do you think has been the most influential person in your career so far? Do you have, is it Thorny or is it somewhere else?
Yeah, definitely. I think Thorny. We were speaking before. A lot of us Queensland guys came out of school and we were sort of thrust right into Super Rugby, and he sort of set us on the straight and narrow. With behaviour-wise on and off the field. So he's been a great influence not only to me but to a lot of the other guys. Smithy as well. So he's been really looking after us. Obviously, it's helped being in the same position as him, so get that really specific coaching, which has been great. But he's tough. He's a hard man, so that's what try to focus my game on. And he really supported us through the years through that. So it's been good. But at the same time, Les and the new coaching staff, they've been great this year and refreshing, and just boys are happy in that environment as well.
And I know you're in your mid-20s. Sometimes if you're not picked from an early age, you might lose a little bit of confidence. Did you ever feel like you weren't going to get this opportunity, or did you have that self-belief, or just one or two little things that needed to tweak to kind of reach your potential?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I was reflecting the other day, after being told, coming into the Wallabies squad, and I was thinking back to when I played in the under-20s in the World Championships in France, and then it was the last game of the tournament, and the coach at the time, Jason Gilmore, he sort of said, before our last game, he said this might be the last time for a lot of you guys to represent Australia and play in the gold jersey. And I didn't really think about it that much until recently. That could have actually been the last time, playing the gold jersey. So I'm grateful that I've got this opportunity. It's refreshing. After playing a lot of years at the Reds, to be able to get some recognition and be a part of the squad, and looking forward to hopefully getting a debut, and if not, just preparing the team as best I can. So
just for Noah, mate. Hi, Noah.
That's good.
Mate, obviously, sorry. Thanks, mate. Noah, obviously, a bit like a few of the other 10s, it's been a bit of a revolving door the last couple of years. You've had a couple of opportunities. Just wondering, have you reflected on what you need to do to sort of really nail this spot down now that Carter's out of the mix at the moment? If you're given the opportunity, and what you might need to do better, or what you thought went wrong in the previous sort of encounters.
I've sort of taken this approach into the camp on not really changing much of what I've done this super season. The time in France taught me a lot, and I've spoken about that previously. So, sort of just loosening myself up a bit. I know as a young 10 internationally, you can tend to put a lot of pressure on yourself. Obviously trying to just, trying to loosen myself up a bit more to, enjoy the moments in training, enjoy the moments with the boys and stuff. Because when I tend to enjoy what I'm doing, I tend to play better. So sort of just going in with that approach. It's worked well so far, and nothing will change in how I prep or anything like that heading in towards the upcoming tests if I get the opportunity to play.
What sort of feedback has Joe given you?
Not much yet. We haven't really done anything individual IDPs or anything like that. It's been more around team-based stuff. So, I'm sure I'll get some feedback soon whenever we have like one-on-ones and stuff.
Do you feel like it's a real clean slate though under a new coach?
I think it is. Obviously, last year happened, and a fair chunk of that squad didn't make it this year. So any position is up for grabs. So I guess the next few days of training, Joe will be watching with a close eye. So it's a clean slate for anyone, and I'm sure whoever Joe picks will get the job done.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Anything further online, Nath?
Yeah, just a couple from me. Noah, just to continue off on that, you have another young half coming into this squad in Tom Liner. A similar age, so he's coming in now. You made your debut. Do you sort of look to teach him sort of the same lessons that you sort of learnt throughout your period, getting thrown in at a young age and, experiencing the trials and tribulation of Test rugby?
No, not really, to be honest. We're roomies at the moment, actually. So he's a pretty chilled kid. Cool-headed, real relaxed. Did I just say kid?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, scrap that. Far out. He's a great player, Tom. I've got to know him over the last few days already. He trained well this morning. I don't need to do anything to his game at the moment. He'll learn his own craft. But as a team, collective on how we attack, I'm always willing to help as well. So whenever he's whenever he's there to ask a question and stuff, I'm happy. I'm there. Happy to answer.
You spoke about that French experience in the past. Was there anyone at Toulon that reached out after you got that sort of call up, just to sort of congratulate you, and you sort of shared words since?
From the Toulon club.
Yeah, or if anyone you played with over there, perhaps.
Yeah, some of the boys. Yeah. I won't go naming them, but a fair few of the boys from Toulon congratulated me just because they know during the World Cup last year I was a bit down when I first rocked up and they saw that. So as I said before, it's been one of my best experiences so far in my rugby career.
It's Angus, for yourself, going through that injury setback last year, what does that sort of teach you about yourself, about just the resilience and that ability to come back and find that level that's now got you into a Wallaby squad?
Yeah, look, it's resilience is needed in any sort of high intensity professional sport. So if you don't have that, you usually don't make the first step to becoming a professional. But I think just really looking after my body now. It's recovery's king, nutrition, hydration, everything. It all matters. And I guess as you sort of in your younger years, in the beginning of your career, you don't really think about that. You just think about more progressing your rugby learning. As you become as a bit of an older player, you can ask any of the older guys here, Slips especially. You've got to look after your body. So getting in the ice bath, sauna, hydration, nutrition, protein, all that kind of stuff, it adds up. So I think just looking after my body first, and then to get it right for the field. That way you can sort of train at that maximum capacity, 100% every session, and that's what makes you get better in the end.
No, just a quick one, mate. Have you been showing Jody clips from the last 20 minutes in Cardiff in 22?
Nah, mate, no chance. That was a great win. That one, wasn't it? That's one for the memories. But I haven't, mate.
But can you draw a bit of confidence knowing that away from home you managed to, that's your memory of Wales really leading a comeback?
You can a bit. I think that Welsh side from then to now has changed a bit. So we're taking this prep window, real serious. So at the moment we're just trying to get what we want to do right and how we want to play. Get real clarity on that, and then we can focus on Wales. So we haven't really, put much, energy or stuff like that into Wales yet. It's more just focusing on us and how we want to play.
Just last one, if I can. Angus, was there any idols that you looked up to, or who did you want to model your game about? And just the second part of that, has Thorny at all reached out to speak to you since you made that squad?
Yeah. Thorny, he messaged me, even after making this first train on squad, and then again after being selected for this July squad as well. So it was really nice to get that message from him, and that congratulations. In terms of idols, just growing up watching James Horwell, Big Kev, he was probably my idol. So similar style of play that I like. So that's really what I base my game off. He's obviously a great leader as well. So I think he's one of the better locks, I think, to sort of base your game off. That's what I've been sort of doing.